I didn't do anything wrong, but the fact that you guys are doing this to me and he's the man in this situation, I'm gonna comply. I am. I'm not gonna argue with you at all. But you have me on camera, but at the same time, what he has on camera, I have my phone, shows something different. So if I need to show that.
Newly released footage shows the incident that led to the arrest of Dallas native and Olympian sprinter Sha'Carri Richardson.
What happens when the fastest man alive collides with the fastest woman in America? Track and field has always thrived on rivalries. Bolt versus Gatlin, Flojo versus Griffith. But in the modern era, no two names have sparked more tension, speculation, and controversy than Christian Coleman and Sha'Carri Richardson.
Okay, but I'm sorry, it's not me. Okay, talk to him. No, ma'am, don't talk to me like that. I'm an adult. Do not talk to me like that. Do not talk to me like that. Tell him to stop.
But I feel like if it was Christian, I believe that's the young man's name, that was on camera bolting Sha'Carri and pushing her around.
She's a liar. He lied about a couple things that's personally, just in a relationship. I pretty much, officers can understand what a relationship is about, but he lied. He's a liar. And that was something that I kind of just grasped, and emotionally, I'm just like, bet you do your thing, but...
Both are explosive sprinters. Both carry an aura of fearlessness, and both have faced storms that threaten to derail their careers. Yet, when their paths finally crossed, it wasn't just about who could reach the finish line first. It became about reputation, redemption, and a rivalry that fans couldn't stop talking about. This is the story of speed, scandal, and two track stars who turned the track into a battlefield. Before Sha'Carri Richardson became a global name, Christian Coleman was already making waves. Born with an engine that seemed almost superhuman, Coleman quickly shot through the college ranks, breaking NCAA records and leaving older, more experienced runners.
Are you serious right now? Christian.
Washington State, he doesn't get a say.
But I understand. We were arguing. But I understand entirely. We were arguing. Okay, I'm not gonna resist, but I'm telling you that we was arguing. I didn't assault him. I didn't do anything wrong. But the fact that you guys are doing this to me and he's the man in this situation, I'm gonna comply. I am. I'm not gonna argue with you at all. But you have me on camera, but at the same time, what he has on camera, I have my phone, shows something different. So if I need to show that, I will. Okay, but I have my phone that shows something different. But Christian, thank you, Christian.
Don't talk to him right now.
Okay, I won't. Thank you so much, officer. They are arresting me right now, Christian. Sissy, they're arresting me right now. Am I gonna go actually to jail right now? Wait, but right now, I didn't. Can he tell you that I didn't do nothing to him? Christian, are you serious right now? Christian, I'm about to go to jail because of you right now. You know what? Okay. I will never.
Inma, dust. By 2019, he wasn't just another sprinter. He was crowned the 100-meter world champion, clocking jaw-dropping times that had commentators whispering that he might actually be the heir to Usain Bolt's throne. Every stride looked effortless. Every race seemed like destiny calling. But with that fame came scrutiny. Coleman wasn't just being praised, he was being watched. And in the world of elite sprinting, being watched means that every detail of your life, from your diet to your daily routine, can become headline news. Fans expected him to dominate the next decade, but instead, his career took a sharp and unexpected detour. Because while his legs could outrun anyone, controversy had a way of catching up fast. For sprinters, the biggest threat isn't always the competition, it's the calendar. Anti-doping agencies require athletes to be available for random tests, and missing too many is treated the same as failing one. And that's exactly what happened to Christian Coleman. Reports revealed that he had missed multiple tests, not because he tested positive, but because he wasn't there when officials came knocking. To fans, that distinction mattered, but to regulators, it didn't. Coleman was slapped with a 2-year suspension, sidelining him from the Olympics in his prime. The reaction was explosive. Some defended him, saying the rules were too harsh and technical, while others argued that missing tests raises suspicion in itself. Social media became a battleground of opinions, and suddenly, Coleman's career, once unstoppable, was on pause. But while Coleman was fighting to clear his name and keep his reputation intact, another sprinter was rising, louder, flashier, and ready to claim the spotlight he left behind. If Christian Coleman was methodical power, Sha'Carri Richardson was fire. With her long nails, colorful hair, and unapologetic confidence, she wasn't just winning races, she was redefining what it meant to be a star in track and field. In 2021, she exploded onto the global stage after running a blistering 10.72 in the 100 meters, instantly making her one of the fastest women in history. But it wasn't just the times that made her unforgettable. It was her attitude. She celebrated with flair, talked her talk, and never shied away from the spotlight. For a sport that sometimes struggles to break into mainstream attention, Sha'Carri was a dream. Fast, outspoken, and impossible to ignore. Yet the same qualities that made her beloved by fans also made her a target. Critics questioned her attitude, her image, and whether she could back up her confidence with consistency. And then, just as she was becoming a household name, one mistake would change everything. When news broke that Sha'Carri Richardson had tested positive for marijuana, the reaction was instant and emotional. She wasn't accused of using performance enhancers, just marijuana, a substance many argued had no bearing on her speed. Yet the rules were the rules, and Sha'Carri was hit with a suspension that knocked her out of the Tokyo Olympics. Fans worldwide erupted in debate. Some saw it as an outdated punishment for a harmless substance, while others pointed out that every athlete knows the rules, no matter how unfair they might seem. Sha'Carri herself admitted her mistake, but also revealed the emotional struggles she was facing at the time, including the loss of her mother. The story took on a human side, transforming her from just an athlete into a symbol of resilience and controversy. And as the dust settled, one thing became clear. Her suspension placed her in a strange parallel with Christian Coleman, two of America's fastest runners, both sidelined by rules that had nothing to do with the races themselves. When Coleman and Richardson's careers began to overlap, it wasn't long before the tension turned personal. While neither openly declared war, there were moments, comments, interviews, and cryptic posts that fans interpreted as shade. Coleman, known for his calm but confident demeanor, often emphasized discipline and professionalism, while Richardson doubled down on her unapologetic image, firing back at critics and letting her presence on the track do the talking. Online, fans amplified every hint of rivalry. Social media posts were dissected, interviews were reshared, and suddenly, the narrative wasn't just about two sprinters. It was about two personalities clashing. Was it genuine dislike, or just the natural drama that comes when two stars fight for the same spotlight? Either way, the anticipation built. When these two finally lined up against each other, the world wanted fireworks. And soon, they got exactly that. The moment Coleman and Richardson finally went head-to-head wasn't just a race. It was theater. Every camera zoomed in, every headline hyped it up. The disciplined world champion versus the fearless fan favorite. And when the gun went off, it wasn't just about who crossed the line first. Every stride carried the weight of their controversies, their comebacks, and their reputations. In some races, Coleman reminded the world of his raw power, exploding out of the blocks with his signature start. In others, Richardson showed her late race strength, powering through with a ferocity that silenced doubters. The results varied, but one thing stayed constant: the tension. Every race between them wasn't just competition, it was a statement. And that's when it became clear. This wasn't just about medals. It was about legacy and about who could control the story being written in real time. Today, both athletes remain polarizing figures in the sport. Christian Coleman is still chasing redemption, determined to prove that his missed tests will not define his legacy. He trains with intensity, knowing that every race is another chance to remind the world of his dominance. Sha'Carri Richardson, meanwhile, has embraced her role as both hero and villain in track and field. Loved by fans for her authenticity, criticized by others for her attitude, but always at the center of attention. Together, their careers highlight something bigger than sprinting: the thin line between greatness and scandal, and how quickly public perception can change. Both are survivors of storms that could have ended their careers. Instead, they continue to run, not just against each other, but against time, expectations, and the narratives that surround them. In the end, the story of Christian Coleman and Sha'Carri Richardson isn't just about who's faster. It's about two athletes who, in different ways, redefined what it means to compete at the highest level under the brightest spotlight. They've been praised, criticized, suspended, and celebrated, but through it all, they've remained unforgettable. Because in track and field, speed may win races, but scandal and redemption win stories. And when speed meets controversy, the real question isn't who takes the gold, it's who controls the legacy left behind.